Hello, everyone. Welcome to Wealthy Life, a channel for your personal growth, awakening, and financial wisdom. Have you ever felt like your life was falling apart, only to later realize it was falling into place? Why do we often experience our biggest growth after hitting rock bottom? Why does change sometimes require destruction before creation? The philosophy of no destruction, no construction teaches us that true transformation often demands breaking away from the old, the safe, and the familiar. Without letting go, without disruption, nothing new can be truly built. But why does this pattern keep repeating in our lives? Why can't we evolve without chaos or collapse? And more importantly, how can we embrace this truth instead of fearing it? Understanding the cycle. Why must we break first? Human nature resists change. We are wired to cling to comfort, even if that comfort is toxic or limiting. Whether it's a dead-end job, a hollow relationship, or a stagnant mindset, we stay until something breaks. Breaking is not the end. It's a catalyst. Think of a seed. For the plant to grow, the shell must crack. For a phoenix to rise, it must first burn to ashes. In biology, in nature, in art, even in personal growth, rebirth only happens after something ends. This is not punishment. It's preparation. From collapse to creation, a story of Steve Jobs. When Steve Jobs was ousted from Apple in 1985, it was a devastating blow. The company he founded rejected him. For most people, that will be the end of the story. But Jobs didn't let that break define him. Instead, it freed him. He went on to found Next and Pixar, ventures that ultimately transformed him into a better visionary and leader. In fact, when he returned to Apple years later, he redefined not just a company, but the entire tech industry. Jobs once said, "Getting fired from Apple was the best thing that could have ever happened to me." His breaking was a foundation for his greatest legacy, the destruction of the old self. In Taoist and Buddhist philosophies, the concept of breaking the ego is seen as essential to awakening. As the Zen master Shunryu Suzuki said, "In the beginner's mind there are many possibilities, but in the expert's mind there are few." This quote points to the need to shatter certainty in order to rediscover freedom and creativity. In the story of Journey to the West, the Monkey King, arrogant and invincible, had to be imprisoned under a mountain for 500 years. Only after this fall, this humbling, did he begin to transform into a true enlightened being. His pride had to break for his wisdom to build. In the film Fight Club, the protagonist's entire world, job, possessions, identity is destroyed. At first, it's horrifying, but ultimately, it's what sets him free from a consumer-driven life and reconnects him with raw human experience. The message is clear. Only after disaster can we be resurrected. The film is controversial, but the message is ancient. Destruction clears the space for truth. Why we resist and why we must stop. We cling to control. But in truth, holding on often hurts more than letting go. We resist endings because we associate them with failure. But what if they are actually signs of life calling us toward growth? We resist the breakdown, even when we know the breakthrough is on the other side. But what's the cost of not breaking? Staying in a relationship that suffocates your spirit? Working a job that pays the bills but robs your soul? Holding on to an identity that no longer fits? Growth demands space. And sometimes space only comes when something collapses. How to use breaking as a tool for transformation. Instead of fearing collapse, we can choose to break consciously. That means, 1. Questioning what no longer serves you. What habits, beliefs, or relationships feel heavy. Let go. Tear down your inner comfort prisons. 2. Choosing disruption before it chooses you. Don't wait for burnout to leave a job. Don't wait for the final argument to leave a toxic relationship. Sometimes you must be the one to swing the hammer. 3. Trust in the process of the unknown. Destruction is scary because it leads to uncertainty, but uncertainty is a birthplace of new identity. 4. Rebuilding with intention. Once the old is gone, rebuild wisely. Choose what you want to stand for, instead of inheriting what you always stood on. There was a woman who spent 10 years in the same role at a prestigious company. She had the title, the stability, the paycheck. But every morning, she woke up dreading the day. Finally, she reached a breaking point and quit. No plan, just a deep need to breathe again. Everyone told her it was a mistake. But within a year, she built her own business, not only more profitable, but deeply fulfilling. She later said, "Quitting felt like failure, but it was actually the first honest thing I'd done for myself in a decade." Don't fear the fall. What looks like the end might be your beginning. We are not meant to stay the same. Identities break. Beliefs evolve. Structures collapse. This is not chaos. It's life's way of making room for something better. So the next time something falls apart, pause and ask, what is life trying to build in me now? Sometimes, when things are falling apart, they may actually be falling into place. If you're standing at the edge of collapse, don't turn back. Break free. Let go. Because only after destruction can something truly powerful rise. Don't forget to subscribe our channel, like and share the video. May you soon discover your true direction in life.